started with how the U.S. markets fared overnight, first of all. Now, Wall Street, that closed lower on Monday as investors booked profit after Friday's big rally that we saw. The Dow slipped about 350 points or about 0.8%. The S&P 500, that fell about 0.5%, whereas the NASDAQ, that edged about 2%, 0.2% lower. Now, investors did remain hopeful that the prospect of lower interest rates coming in September, as hinted by Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell last week at the Jackson Hole Symposium, and that it will strengthen parts of the market that appear due for a breakout. For instance, small caps are just one example. Now, the street is also hopeful that Nvidia's earnings report on Wednesday will bolster the mega cap tech trade following its recent slide. Now, shifting focus to what all that we need to watch out for today. Now, the focus shifts to key economic data, durable goods, consumer confidence, home prices, and Richmond Fed's survey. These are the things that we'll be watching out for in today's trade as far as U.S. trade is concerned. Apart from that, investors are also watching for comments from Fed officials and looking ahead to Nvidia's earnings. Well, apart from that, later this week, the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, the PCE index, will also be closely tracked. Well, that's about Wall Street, but let's also take a look at how the commodity markets are shaping up. Now, oil prices, they did climb on Monday, but slipped this morning at a time when traders are anticipating more U.S. sanctions and Ukrainian attacks targeting energy infrastructure in Russia that could disrupt supplies. Now, Brent was down about 0.5% at the $68.47 level. Now, remember, U.S. President Donald Trump has said again on Friday that he would impose sanctions on Russia if there was no progress towards a peaceful settlement in Ukraine in 2 weeks. Now, he has also said that he may hit India with harsh tariffs over its purchases of Russian oil. So that's something, that commentary is something that we are watching out for, and the action that follows. Now, over the weekend, now remember, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance said that Russia made significant concessions towards negotiated settlement in the 3.5-year war. Apart from that, let's also put the spotlight on gold prices. They are holding steady as the market's focus has shifted to the upcoming U.S. PCE data, as I mentioned, on the cues for Federal Reserve's policy path, while the stronger dollar has capped some of its gains. Next,